Hello everyone, and a big welcome back. Today we're at Great Wolk Lodge, and this is going to be the closest Great Wolk Lodge in Baltimore, Maryland, in the DC metro area. So if you live in that area, then this park is going to be the one you're going to want to focus on. It's pretty new. It's built in 2023, and it is the largest Great Wolk Lodge of the 23 Great Wolk Lodges that mostly exist in the United States and maybe a few in Canada. I was here with my entire family, all four of us. We had a great time, and I'm going to help you understand if staying here is worth your time and your money. So let's talk about getting here. The one thing I did not like, well, maybe there's more than one thing, but first off, I did not like paying $15 per day per car to park here. If you look around, you can see it's a pretty large lot. They're never going to run out of parking space, but they do charge to park here. In addition to being a water park, they also have a hotel. But before we get to all that, let's go right to the water park. I'm going to pan the camera around so you can take a look. And as you can see, it is a very large water park, the largest in the entire fleet of Great Wolk Lodge. It has a more industrial look as you look up, but it's just a massive water park area. It's broken up into 7 different spaces, and I'm going to show you all of them and walk you through what you can expect. The 7 different areas of the water park include the slide, there's an outdoor pool area, a lazy river, a sports pool, wave pool, there's a kids splash park, and there is a waterworks play park, which is what you're looking at right here. And the big thing about this is that it has a huge bucket of water that dumps down. It also has slides and a lot of water and squirt guns. Kids of all ages, and I mean kids of all ages to include adults, really enjoy this water park. When we were here in the middle of summer, and the park was absolutely full. It is at full capacity. In addition, you have people who had day passes. You can get a day pass for the full day and or a half day. Half day passes cost just a little bit less. You get only 4 hours. In my opinion, the full day pass is probably worth far more bang for your buck. But if you have no option, then you can do the day pass. Now, the passes range in prices anywhere from $120 if you come here on the weekend for a day pass, or as much as little, I should say, as $40 if you're here during the work week. Something else I think is important to add is that if you stay at the hotel, and there is a hotel attached to this park, and we're going to tour the hotel room and show you what that looks like. Anytime you stay here, you get to stay, or you get access to the water park, I should say, for absolutely free. I was here with my entire family. That's 2 adults, 4 kids, and we were also here with another family that had 2 adults, 3 kids, so a total of 7 kids, and they range in ages from 12 to 18. And one of the things I really like about this place is that if you're an adult, you'll enjoy it. Teenagers enjoy it. It has, almost in my opinion, something for everyone. So one of the things that sets this park apart from other Great Wolk Lodges is that it's not only for little young kids. Kids of all ages and adults are going to enjoy this park. One of the major challenges in being here is that it has a lot of stairs. So going up and down the stairs does get to be exhausting. When we were here, we were at full capacity. One of the challenges when it's in the middle of the summer and it's a full park is that you're going to have to wait. The longest wait we had was about maybe 20 minutes. So that really does eat into your time, especially if you want to hit all the slides. I strongly recommend you get up and get a good seat, get here early. The park really fills up right around noon and lunchtime. But if you're here early and you're here late, there's not as many people, so you can kind of do the slides and not have to wait in line if you just kind of time it right. Even though we were at full capacity, there were still, in my opinion, lots of seats still available. So seating here is not going to be a challenge per se. However, if you want to get a premier seat, something that's close to the area that you want to be in, I recommend you get here early, because there were people lined up here as early as 10 o'clock when the park opens because they wanted to get the seat that they wanted. If you have kids who can't swim, there was an abundance of lifeguards all around. Also, if you rent a towel, I strongly recommend you keep track of it, because if you lose your towel and they all look alike, you're gonna pay maybe $20, $30 for that lost towel. There's also food and drinks available within the water park. There are cabanas available for rent. These are, in my opinion, quite expensive. However, they're guaranteed seating with a mini fridge. They have a free safe television, overhead fan, and plugs inside, so very lush experience. I was here in the summertime, so you can see the outdoor pool area is open. However, if you're here during the winter, this is the only part of the park that you won't get to experience. Everything else except for the outdoor pool and the whirlpool is going to be available for you right inside. There are also cabanas available on the outside area, and just gonna pan the camera around and kind of show you what it looks like. It gives you a fantastic view of the outdoor pool area, which is a walk-in pool. In this green space, you'll notice that many of the slides that you see here jettison out from the building. So it's really more comprehensive, a bigger park than it actually looks like when you're standing on the inside, because all of these slides right here really originate on the inside and end there. Now, if you're here just for the day and you have a day pass, you can get a shower and just kind of get back on the road. However, in my opinion, it makes far more sense to just get a hotel room, because if you get a hotel room, the day pass is included. There are lockers available, but let's head on back inside to kind of show you what the entrance looks like. This is what it looks like when you first walk into Great Wolk Lodge. It has a wonderful grand entrance. There's a lot of things that happens in this space. They have movies here. There's the characters that come and interact with people. There's lots of photo opportunities. There is a night scene. There are stretches and exercises in the morning. So this right here is a very happening space, and this is what you first see when you walk into the Great Wolk Lodge Park. One of the first things I'd recommend you do, especially if you have young kids, is get an idea of what the schedule looks like. This is in the morning, and the kids are stretching, they're exercising, doing Pilates. At nighttime, they have the different shows. But in order to plan your time here and to make the most of it, you're going to have to know when things are going to happen. So when you get here, talk to the people at the reception and get an idea of what's happening and at what time. In a moment, we're going to head upstairs and see what the room looks like, also show you all the other amenities that the park has to offer. But to answer that question, who is this park right for? It's, in my opinion, right for kids and adults of all ages. Teenagers may not love it as much as the younger kids. However, I was there with teenagers. Most of the people, the kids I was there with, were teenagers, and they had a great time. However, if you're going to be here for several days, you may want to think about getting some of the other amenities that we'll talk about in just a minute. But this right here is check-in, and it's a very busy time in check-in. If you want to skip these lines, I strongly recommend you just get your boarding information and you can check in on one of the kiosks. If you go to their website, you'll see that there is a variety of different rooms that they have available. This room in particular is the Grizzly Bear Suite. It sleeps anywhere from 6 to 8 people. Something to note about this and all the rooms is that there is a mini fridge inside this room. So if you want to save money, you can bring your own food. It is a mini fridge, so you can't store a lot in there, but it does give you some options. It is also no microwave in this room. So whatever you eat, it needs to be cold. There is free Wi-Fi on the property, and if you stay in a room, you have access to the park later on. Also, if you want to add on different things onto your stay, like the Magic Wand thing that you're doing here, as well as some of the other activities, you can do so, and you can get a package deal, which will save you a little bit of money. But in my opinion, it kind of doesn't really save you as much as I would think or would like. This area is what I call the main promenade, and it's a straight shot from the front entrance all the way to the back, which is where the water park is. And to the sides, as you walk between those two distances, are going to be all the shops, the restaurants, all the different things you can do. This is the adventure park area, and it has the rope course and the golf course, which are the other two main attractions, and they combine these things into different packages. So if you're going to be here for a couple of days and you think your kids are going to get bored of maybe just being at the water park day after day, then you want to maybe add some of these things in it. When we were there with our kids, they just had enough fun at the water park where they didn't need all this other stuff. There's also an arcade that's right in that main promenade area. However, I felt that the games were super expensive. Some of the packages had a $5 addition to the arcade, and in my opinion, that $5 didn't go far at all. It lasted for maybe 1 or 2 games. The games in here, in my opinion, are very expensive. Before we get to all the food options, and there are a lot of them, we're going to look at the golf course, or I should say the putt-putt golf course, and it's right below the ropes course. And the rope course is a 2-level rope course. When it comes to eating, there are a lot of different options. I look at 3 different things. I look at variety, the quality and the cost. So let's start off with the variety. There are a total of 8 eating establishments in this facility. So there's a lot of different places you can eat. I didn't feel while I was here that the need to go somewhere else in order to eat something different. When it comes to the quality of food, I didn't feel it was bad at all. It's on par with a Fridays or say Applebee's. You're gonna find food that you're gonna find familiar, like burgers and hot dog and French fries. The food is, when it comes to cost, in my opinion, a little bit pricey. You're gonna find for a meal for an adult, you're gonna buy $20. For a child, it's about $12. However, if you want the all-you-can-eat, it's going to be around $30, $35 for an adult. But if you want to leave, about 10 minutes drive away, there's a Food Line. There's also a Subway and a Domino's Pizza. So that's one way that you can save on cost. I was there during the summertime. However, as I'm making this video, it's in the wintertime. Right now, it is 20 degrees outside. I would love to go back in the winter. And one of the things I like about this park, it gives you both winter and summer options. You can go anytime and it's perfect. The water is set at 84 degrees. When it comes to the staff while I was there, I felt that they were very kind, friendly. They seemed to want to help you. The only thing I could say about them was that they seemed like they were young people, like they were very young, except for the people who were at the front desk. But the staff I felt were very nice. If for whatever reason the water park isn't for you and it's not your speed, right next door, literally walking distance away, is the Hollywood Casino. It's for adults only, but it gives you an option of something to do that's close by. Overall, I had a great time there. I can't say it was a fantastic value for the money. I went in peak time. However, if you go during the weekdays, you're going to save a lot by doing that. And also, I think it's worth it to just rent a room rather than getting the day pass, and also go do the middle of the week to save money.